Good morning and welcome to A Few Moments with the Rev. I'm Greg Johnson and I want to welcome you to this continuing brief conversation that we have been doing for the last 7 weeks. We've been doing a program that I've entitled Recovery in Recovering. It's a program that I found on the YouTube channel, and I'm extremely grateful for it. It came from, and I always read this to get it correctly, Virginia Commonwealth University. They have a program there for their students entitled Rams in Recovery. I presume Rams is the sports team, and I'm showing my ignorance there. But Rams in Recovery. And this program allows folks who are students there to be able to focus each day on their journey in recovery through whatever program they may be involved in, as well as to have help within their academic world. And these groups of persons at the university came together and they came up with 10 suggestions, 10 pieces of wisdom that in the recovery tradition they felt would be extremely important and helpful in the world of recovering from the pandemic. And so we've been talking about them each week, one at a time, and today we're on the 8th one. But for those of you who may not have been with us previously, I just want to read each of the topics that we've talked about, because they are all available on my YouTube channel, which is Family Caregiving with the Rev. Family Caregiving with the Rev. And you go on there and you will see the list. There are numbers of programs there for you to take a look at. But the one that this is about is recovery in recovering. And first of all, we said it was surrender and acceptance. Secondly, we were reminded that we must halt, that we must not get too hungry, angry, lonely, or tired, letting each of those be a warning signal. Our journey is progress, not perfection. The fourth topic we talked about, serenity, is not freedom from the storm, but peace amid the storm. And we looked at that wonderful serenity prayer, which, whether you're in recovery or not, I hope is part of your daily prayer life. Number 5, keep your head where your feet are. What an important statement in presenteeism. The 6th, service transforms pain. Service transforms pain. Last week, our topic was my favorite, gratitude. Gratitude is an action word. And this morning, the 8th suggestion, the 8th item of wisdom that they have included for us to consider, it's about surviving, yes, but it's also about thriving. Listen to what they wrote, and then we'll chat a moment. We don't get into recovery to drop out of life. We get into recovery to get back into life. While we are certainly focusing on survival in this moment, like many of us did during our early recovery years, we can also be laying the groundwork for a brighter future. While it is easy to focus on what we cannot do, whether it's drinking or drugs or visiting friends, we also have opportunities to strengthen relationships, improve our meditation practices, exercise, and find other things that will set us up to not only survive, but to thrive. They will set us up to thrive. And we can still focus on the big and small things we have right now that make us happy. This, I think, is an important step. We have been gifted, if I can use that word, and I'm using it purposefully. During this pandemic, we have been gifted with a new relationship to time. As we are being isolated at various times, I will be going next week to Wisconsin to do the funeral for my mother, but when I return, because Wisconsin is one of those states that is having a great influx of disease, I will once again self-quarantine for 14 days. So those are times that we perhaps didn't have. And in each of our lives, there are many things which we have often said, well, if I just had time, I'd do that. If I really had time, I could look at that topic. Or, this has always interested me. I wonder what it really means. Well, each of us has the gift of a computer or has access to some device that can allow us to do that wonderful word called Google. This is a time where there are many unknowns, but it is also an opportunity to explore, an opportunity to learn. And in order to help you, I'm just going to share a few of the things I've been doing. I've created some new programs at Emblem Health to help our members and our employees one day at a time. A tip on caregiving, which come out once a week. Those, by the way, are also on the YouTube page, Family Caregiving with the Rev. And take a look at them. Everything that we do is meant to be shared. The team at Emblem is also working on some new programs and some new devices using technology to help the world of caregivers. And as we are being forced to live and communicate by technology, I'm becoming far more comfortable with it. That's been one of the things I've been learning. Thanks to my fiancée in Indonesia, Dani. We communicate daily by WhatsApp. But I've also become less and less afraid of the computer. And I had not been that comfortable with it. I'm not particularly of the age of the computer. But I've learned to get comfortable with it. I keep getting lost, but I keep learning. Also, Donnie and I, as you know, are engaged, and we have been approved for the fiancé visa, but it's not been completed. And of course, at the moment, the embassy in Jakarta is closed. So we've used this opportunity to look at opportunities for his arrival here in America, both professionally and, of course, personally. I've been studying some of the writers whom I've not had a chance to read. I've also been reading the books of several very dear friends who have sent me copies of their wonderful, wonderful books. And I'm using this as an opportunity. In fact, one is right here, and I share it with you. It's entitled Depression, Out of the Darkness and Into the Light by W. Daniel Hale. Dr. Hale is a very, very dear personal friend and in association with Johns Hopkins Bayview Medical Center has contributed so much. This is a personal story as well as a professional book. I have read many on depression. I don't think any is more wonderful. So that is how we begin to build. It's also a time when we listen to our hearts, when we spend less time out here and we go within to that precious voice of the divine, the Spirit, that which is within us, and we're still. And through meditation and prayer, however you may define those words, we begin to listen, to ask for guidance. Perhaps this is the moment when that dream that you had can truly begin to happen. Yes, there's darkness, but there is light, just like the book. And it is just a sliver that we need of light, and it will expand. So use this time, giving thanks for where we are right here and now, whatever your condition is, praying for health and strength, and then being still. And I'm going to end this morning's broadcast with a lovely item that I found on Facebook. It's a positivity pledge. Now, you do know that for many years I had the privilege of serving at the Marble Collegiate Church, and that's certainly the church of the power of positive thinking, for Dr. Norman Vincent Peale was our senior minister for well over 50 years. And yes, I'm of the age that I had the privilege of knowing him, learning from him, and from his wonderful wife. The Positivity Pledge. Join me. I shall no longer allow negative thoughts or feelings to drain me of my energy. Instead, I shall focus on all the good that is in my life. I will think it, feel it, and speak it. By doing so, I will send out vibes of positive energy into the world, and I shall be grateful for all the wonderful things it will attract into my life. And it is so. God bless. Have a wonderful week, and if you're free on Thursday, 11 o'clock, it's Hymns by Request. And if you've got a favorite hymn you'd like, just send me an email at gregjohnson@gjp-international.com. Tell me what hymn you like, and we'll be happy to share it with you. And then, of course, Friday morning, 8 o'clock here in New York Live. Friday with the Rev. God bless. Have a wonderful week. I'll talk to you later.